News, we take a look at local school prevention protocol.
Also this week, we have coverage on a former defendant in a Supreme landmark case as she travels the country to speak on First Amendment principles.
And the Manhattan High girls basketball team has their sights set for state championship. All this and more coming up on Channel 8 News.
Looking a little cloudy here today in Manhattan, but looking to clear up this weekend. Perfect weather to head to City Park, shred on some rollerblades. Your local weather and 5-day forecast coming up next.
This is KKSU LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Josh Yankovic.
And I'm Jared Sleppy. With all the recent shootings, should local students have any reason to be concerned?
Our reporters have been searching for that answer and will tell us more information later in the show. Unfortunately, some local residents have already gotten a glimpse of that violence.
Monday evening, the peace and quiet in Wamego, Kansas was abruptly filled with sounds of gunshots. An attempted carjacking ended up in a shootout around the intersection of 8th and Pine between 5 and 6 p.m. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation has identified the suspected carjacker as Ethan Straub. Straub was reported riding a bicycle and armed by the Kansas Highway Patrol. Shortly after, Straub was met by 5 officers from 4 law enforcement agencies, which led into a shootout, taking Straub's life. No officers or local residents were injured in the shooting, and the Kansas Bureau of Investigation says that there is no longer any threat to the public at the moment.
Residents of Manhattan area may be surprised to hear of recent vehicle break-ins occurring on the southeast side of town. The break-ins happened between 10th and Fremont, right next to the Aggieville Bar District. Local resident Jamie Lawrence was a victim of the recent crime spree, with some of her everyday items being swiped right there from her vehicle on Monday evening. She was thankful for the Riley County Police Department, stating that they were a big help in the investigation. The Riley County Police Department says that these vehicle break-ins occur all over town, especially in the more densely populated areas like Aggieville. Riley County Corporal Jacob Wilson had a few tips on how you could prevent theft.
Yeah, so with a vehicle or even residential burglaries, the biggest proactive steps that you could take is one, obviously locking your vehicles or your cars, your vehicles, houses. Also with your vehicles, not keeping valuables in there as well. It goes anywhere from electronics and just anything that you have. And the third thing that I would recommend is having lighting. So at your house, if you keep your porch lights on at night, lighting is a big deterrent for crime as well.
As school gun violence continues to be an issue in America, local schools are also continuing to review what measures they have in place if a situation were to come up. Channel 8 News reporter Mason Voth has the story.
USD 320 Wamego is just like every other school in the nation, with a rising concern on intruders looking to harm the school and students.
I think that's across the board with students and parents and teachers. Everybody has become more aware of the potential risk and the fact that it could actually happen.
With those rising fears amongst school administrators, father of 2 students in the Wamego district says that at the moment, those fears haven't gotten to him yet.
I feel very safe at this point. I think they do a great job of making sure the parents are seen and known before they let them out of school.
Wamego Superintendent Tim Winter says that at the moment, the middle school and elementary schools are better equipped for a situation than the high school.
We do have some plans in place with some construction work. We are reassessing all of our locking mechanisms in our doors and making sure that those are upgraded.
Winter says that the age of the high school and configuration is why they do not have a stronger safety measure. At the other schools, though, Brady Herman says they do a good job of showing the parents the plans in place.
At the beginning of every year, they make us well known on measures they have to take during a situation like that.
A tornado hasn't taken any lives at a school since the 2013 Moore, Oklahoma tornado, but Winter says that they practice tornado and fire drills more than they do drills regarding lockdowns.
We do some drills. It is an area that we can improve in. It's not a monthly drill like a fire drill or a seasonal drill like a tornado drill.
And although nothing has happened yet in the Wamego School District as of recent memory, the superintendent tells me that they are prepared for if a situation were to arise.
We're part of a program called the ALICE program. ALICE stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. It's something that we're continuing to review, continuing to go over with our staff.
From Wamego, Mason Voth, Channel 8 News.
Wamego currently employs a school resource officer in conjunction with the Pottawatomie County Sheriff and Wamego Police Departments. Even if the officer is not in the building, law enforcement can arrive at the schools in less than 1 minute.
Later on in the show, Channel 8 reporter Grant Miller and Officer Miles will show how K-State plans for any security threats that are on campus.
But first, Congress still needs to make a decision on DACA, and many students are waiting for the decision, which could change their lives.
Imagine spending your life building your life to find out could all be taken away from you. That could be the case for one K-State student. Channel 8 News reporter Tiffany Horn caught up with one student that may be affected by these changes.
Lucio and her parents came to the U.S. as undocumented immigrants to give her and her siblings a better life. But in fall 2017, President Donald Trump terminated the program known as DACA. This program provides children of illegal immigrants opportunities in the U.S. Once this goes into effect, DACA users are no longer allowed to be renewed into the program.
I actually woke up and got a FaceTime call from one of my best friends back in Wichita, and we just started crying because we were just like, the feeling of uncertainty, it was just, it hit us.
Lucio loves her university, city, and the friends she's made in Manhattan, Kansas, but fears that all of that could be taken away from her.
So I was like, wow, it's my junior year of college, like all I have is a year and a half left, and I was really scared because some of the scholarships I have, I only have them because of DACA.
As of February 26, 2018, the Supreme Court has decided to give a year-long relief extension to DACA recipients. But on March 5th, Congress will have the last say on whether or not this termination will be permanent. I spoke with K-State's multicultural program coordinator.
Allowing DACA to expire would further affect our numbers as a university. Behind them, our economic future depends on these students being here in our community and at our university. So let's support them and back them for sure.
Until Congress comes to a decision, students like Lucia are going to continue to wait with the unknown of when their time in the U.S. will be up. In Manhattan, I'm Tiffany Horn, Channel 8 News.
Fighting for these students, K-State faculty has been discussing with legislatures in Kansas and Washington, D.C. Since the Supreme Court refused to bypass the federal court, DACA students have a little while longer to wait for that final decision. There have been more than 18 school shootings already in 2018. These tragedies become more common. Schools across the country are increasing safety measures, including K-State. University students and staff both have strong feelings about safety on their campus.
K-State Campus Police is heavily involved with helping students and staff are safe. We have a live interview with the K-State Campus Police officer up next.
I know a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
We'll carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
Research. It's applying the bigger picture toward the greater good. Defending the world from adversaries, both seen and unseen. Interpreting realities to unlock solutions. It's our land-grant mission to serve our world utilizing sharp minds, from first-year students to world-renowned experts. What makes research so strong at Kansas State University? Vision, progress, you.
Some K-State students and faculty are sharing their feelings on campus safety, specifically how they feel about being ready for an active shooter. Grant Miller has a story.
Since the shooting that took place in Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida, the question of campus safety is on the minds of many K-State students and faculty. For Professor Lavone Canfield, however, her concern is turned toward how some people may react to the threat of an active shooter.
I think it's important to be prepared and to be aware, But I'm always wary of every policy changing and everything changing because something really tragic happens.
K-State has response plans in place designed to get those on campus to safety in the event of an active shooter situation or another campus threat.
One of the methods employed by K-State to help keep students safe is the acronym ALICE, which stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. The acronym is designed to help students remember what to do in the event of an active shooter when they're in a classroom such as this, or anywhere else on campus where there may be a threat.
Despite growing attention on campus safety, not all students feel as if there is a great threat to their personal safety. One of those students is Samuel Shavrin, who walks around campus at ease, but is still aware of the possible threats that he may encounter.
Honestly, I feel very safe on campus. I don't generally feel unsafe, especially in classes. However, with recent news, you can't help but think about it and think about the worst case scenario sometimes.
With safety the concern for those on campus, the university maintains and updates its procedures to ensure the well-being of its students and staff. In Manhattan, I'm Grant Miller, Channel 8 News.
Joining us live in the studio is Officer Randy Miles of the Kansas State Police Department, here to talk with Channel 8's Grant Miller about ALICE and other safety procedures. Grant?
Thanks, Jared, and thank you, Officer Miles, for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
So, what training is available to faculty, staff, and students that they can access on campus in the event of an active shooter?
Well, here on campus, we have a training called ALICE, which stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. This training is open for all faculty members and students, and it's a proactive choice to an active shooter event to help them, give them the basic knowledge of what they can do and give them the understanding that they can survive an active shooter event.
How often is this training provided throughout the year?
We do training throughout the school year. Our latest training that we'll be having will be on March 8th. It's an open enrollment training. You can go to the K-State Police Department website to get information on how to sign up, and it's free for all students and staff.
Excellent. What strategies are used by K-State PD in preparation and training for this kind of event?
The K-State Police Department, we train almost all the time. We have 4-hour trainings that each officer is going through as far as active shooter training. We also, over the summer, we have a county-wide training that we will be participating in to help better respond to active shooter events.
And where can people access these resources like ALICE most readily?
Again, you can go to the K-State Police Department's website. We have a video there to give information on how to sign up for it. Also, we have a video there where people can watch to get information about what ALICE is. And also, you can go to the Human Capital Services portion of the K-State website to get information how to sign up for the training as well.
Excellent. So how has been the response and feedback? Have people been able to engage actively in the ALICE training? Has that gone well?
Yes. I'm one of the certified trainers in ALICE, and our staff and our students have been very engaged. We have multiple trainings within this month that we had. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for now. Once again, that website is kstate.edu/police/ALICE. That's all the time we have for today. Jared, Josh, back to you.
Thanks, Grant. It has been warming up in the area in recent days. Our weather forecast will show you, it will tell you if you need a jacket for this weekend or you'll need to keep it hanging around.
And the K-State women's basketball team faced off against the Kansas Jayhawks in the Sunflower Showdown. We have the highlights of that matchup and more later in the show.
I was so pleased with what I saw on the discussion boards last night. Who started the module?
K-State Global Campus offers flexible online learning, the same name brand education, quality programs, and recognized award-winning professors with the flexibility to fit your life.
We'll be working on Project 3 this week. It's a group project.
For your comfort and safety, vital baggage must be stored in the overhead.
K-State Global Campus. Always on, always there.
Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Cats and Sooners tied at 5, and the Cats trying to win a Big 12 title for the first time ever. Outside, it gets away to the plate. Kansas State has its title. Ships it in the middle, a header into the goal, and a score for K-State.
The best-kept secret in Manhattan is not a secret anymore. I'm Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Wildcats, and welcome to JP's Sports Grill. With daily chef-inspired specials, a full bar, and a diverse menu that has something for everyone, this place is guaranteed to impress. JP Sports Grill, your new favorite spot.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Right now, we will send it over to weather anchor Chase Swinson, who is here to fill us in on what's in store for weather this week. Chase.
Thanks, Josh and Jared. Your friendly neighborhood weatherman, Chase Swinson here. Let me be the first to say weather is looking absolutely fantastic this week in Manhattan. Great weekend to head to City Park and shoot some hoops. Watch out, West Coast. We're going to go ahead and look into some national averages here. We're going to go ahead and start off on the West Coast up here in Seattle, about 45 degrees and raining down there in Seattle. As we move south towards Los Angeles, sunny and 60 degrees. Don't forget your sunscreen if you're heading down there. We're going to coo-coo-ka-choo off over here towards the east side, but we're going to make a quick pit stop down south in Austin. Humana, what do we got going on down here? There is a storm brewing, 71 degrees, double lightning bolts, folks, double lightning bolts. Watch out for that. Things getting a little crazy down south. We're going to go ahead and move north up towards Chicago. About 55 degrees, partly cloudy. Things looking about the exact same there in New York. Things do heat up down south as we head towards Atlanta. 66 degrees, partly cloudy. Let's go ahead and take a look at how things are going in our neck of the woods across the beautiful state of Kansas. We're going to go ahead and start off towards the west side of Kansas, towards the Colorado Rockies. About 50 degrees. Things do heat up as you move south towards the southwestern portion of the state. As we head east a little closer to home in Riley County, about 48 degrees. Things cooling down a bit for us. But things do heat up as you head towards Kansas City, closer to the 60-degree mark. And as you head south, Humana, southeastern portion of the state, 70 degrees. Let's go ahead and look how things are looking in Manhattan for us today. Day started off kind of on the chillier side, about 31 degrees and cloudy at sunrise. Things do warm up, though, about 47 degrees and cloudy at lunch. Not exactly ideal picnic weather, but still looking pretty solid out there. Things remain about the same for the rest of the day. Towards sunset, about the exact same. But let's go ahead and look at our 5-day forecast, shall we? Beautiful weather this weekend. Beautiful temperatures, 59 degrees there for Friday. Things looking about the exact same towards the weekend. Heating up a bit into the mid-60s. A little rain on Sunday. That's kind of a Debbie Downer. Things do cool off towards the start of the week. Back to Josh and Jared at the desk.
Thank you, Chase. That was absolutely fantastic. Both Manhattan High basketball teams were in action this week. The boys' sub-state game came down to the final seconds, and the girls' team is seeking the sub-state finals.
Also, we have footage of K-State track and field meet in Ames, Iowa. Find out which K-State athlete is undefeated and in competition and this year, and much more, all next.
Schultz one, high and deep to left, goodbye.
Shot to right, K-State's going to try and score two. Another play at the play, but this time Brendan slides past the tag. And Brad Hill is the all-time winningest coach in K-State history.
We are a family that does not tolerate discrimination of any kind.
A family that believes diversity, inclusion, and sportsmanship are expectations.
A family that is supportive and seeks to promote a positive environment.
A family that treats all people with respect and dignity.
No matter their color, creed, gender, ethnicity, or sexual orientation.
We are an empowered family.
Who empowers family.
Welcome to K-State.
This is who we are.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. The K-State track and field team traveled to Ames, Iowa, looking to come back with some hardware.
And the Manhattan High girls basketball team is headed to Sub-State. Channel 8 sports reporter Margaret Coltrane has the update.
Thanks, Josh and Jared. It's been a crazy week for sports in Manhattan. The Manhattan boys basketball team narrowly defeated the Shawnee Heights Thunderbirds 68-63 last Friday. As it was senior night, many of the senior Indians stepped up to put points on the board, with Carson Marsh scoring 15 and Nate Aubrey scoring 13. At half, the Indians had a 33-24 lead. Shawnee Heights came within 3 points of Manhattan High School by the last minute of the game, but missed some critical free throws down the stretch that handed the victory over to the Indians. The Manhattan High boys were in action again last night, but fell to Wichita North 60-57. The Manhattan High Indians girls basketball team is currently boasting a 19-2 record going into the sub-state final. Channel 8 reporter Adam Cook has the story.
Ranked 8th in the state and 1st in the Centennial Girls Basketball District, the Manhattan High girls basketball team has been tearing it up in their league this season. With a 19-2 record, the Indians are ahead of the next team, Washburn Rural, by 4 wins. Coach Scott Mall explained that winning is nothing new to the team.
We've had a pretty successful run. We've had winning records in like all but one of the last like 17 or 18 years. I think our last like 15, 16 years, our winning percentage is around 70%. But
with only 2 losses this season, the Manhattan High girls team has high hopes to make it to state, possibly make some shots and win it all. Swish.
Kaya Wilson, a junior on the varsity team, credits teamwork as her team's biggest success factor.
We really try and utilize each other a lot and try and use each other's strengths, and I think try and just work as a team even like through adversity and stuff like that. And I mean, even we just try and work little things and work towards something where we actually play good teams.
Well, I think it's just the building of the program. We have girls coming up every year that have worked hard, kind of progressed from the time they started playing basketball. They play a lot of ball, and just trying to just keep our program going by building. Every year we have girls step up to take the place of girls who have graduated.
Whatever their secret is, the Manhattan High girls are definitely doing something right. From Manhattan, I'm Adam Cook, Channel 8 News.
You can catch the Lady Indians sub-state final on Friday as they take on the Hutchinson Salt Hawks at 7 p.m. in Manhattan. A win for the Lady Indians would send them to the state tournament in Wichita, Kansas. The K-State women's basketball team had their final home match of the season against the Jayhawks in the Sunflower Showdown. This game was not only senior night, but was also the celebration of Kansas State women's basketball's 50th season. Both teams wore the throwback uniforms they wore 50 years ago when playing each other. 4 players from the Wildcats scored double figures, with junior point guard Kayla Goff and sophomore Peyton Williams each dropping a team high, 21 points. Freshman Rachel Ranke was close behind with 19 points, 14 of those coming in the first half. On their final home game of their collegiate career, senior Shaylin Martin dropped 7 points and senior Kaylee Page dropped 13. The Jayhawks fell to the Wildcats 91-67. This past weekend, the Kansas State track and field team traveled to Ames, Iowa, where they competed in the Big 12 Indoor Championship. Between the men's and the women's teams, the Wildcats brought 40 medals back home to Manhattan. 2 of those medals included Big 12 indoor champions. The first of those champions was senior Mitchell Dixon, who competed in the weight throw, throwing 21.58 meters on his final throw to secure his spot in first place, winning the weight throw competition. Dixon was undefeated in indoor competition this year. The next Big 12 champion came in sophomore Nina Schultz, who jumped a personal record, 1.85 meters in high jump, winning her second high jump championship in her career. Schultz, however, was not done yet, going on to play second in long jump and 4th in the 60-meter hurdles. This led her to win the High Point Award for the competition. Schultz will be joining sprinter Terrell Smith at Nationals next week in College Station, Texas.
Yeah, my results have been getting more consistent, so I'm happy. Hurdles, my prelim race was good enough to qualify for the finals, so that's always the goal, just to go out and make the finals. And luckily I was able to come in 4th with a pretty decent time. High jump I was very happy with. It started off a little rocky, but I was able to hit a personal best and come through with the win.
Make sure to check back next week for highlights from your K-State men's basketball team, plus footage from the weekend from the first series of Wildcat baseball. Now back to Josh and Jared.
Thanks, Margot. In 1969, the United States Supreme Court defined constitutional rights for students in U.S. public schools. We had the chance to sit down with a member that was the defendant in this landmark case.
Also, a final look at our 5-day weather forecast as you head into the weekend.
I was so pleased with what I saw on the discussion boards last night. Who started the module?
K-State Global Campus offers flexible online learning, the same name brand education, quality programs, and recognized award-winning professors with the flexibility to fit your life.
Here you are, sir. Can I get you anything else?
For your comfort and safety, vital baggage must be stored in the overhead.
K-State Global Campus, always on, always there.
When I hear the phrase giving back,
it means opportunity for me to do something for others.
Volunteering exposes you to different ways of life and different people around the world.
They teach you just as much as you teach them.
it allows you to understand the social issues that we face. The only people who can resolve those social issues is us, and that's starting with our community.
I think for me it means just really embodying what it means to be a part of that K-State family.
K-State athletics team with Courts for Kids, and we went to Costa Rica, a town called Leona Veja.
We went to Dallas to volunteer at Aid Services of Dallas.
I believe everybody should have education, and that's why I volunteer at a high school.
It's a family atmosphere, and we're here to take care of each other, and I think that K-State Proud and other things that students do really embody that family atmosphere that we've been taught since we got here.
What motivates Wildcats to give back?
Empathy.
Kindness.
You.
Free speech activist Mary Beth Tinker visited Kansas State University recently. Tinker spoke on what it means to stand up for what you believe in. In attendance, Channel 8's Brett Huntington spoke with Tinker and other students on what their perspectives are.
When Mary Beth Tinker was in middle school, she was told she couldn't wear an armband with a peace sign to protest the war. She then took her school all the way to the Supreme Court and won.
Although Mary Beth Tinker won her court case, she didn't stop there. She still travels from place to place on what she calls the Tinker Tour. Working as a free speech activist, she hopes to inspire young people to speak up for what they believe in.
She hoped to inspire people from around the Manhattan area when she came to Kansas State University over the weekend.
Of course there's going to be controversy, and that's what democracy is all about. And it's what education is about, actually, also. But luckily, we have a guide for how to talk about controversial things, and that's called the First Amendment.
Tinker's speech resonated highly with student Trace Salzbrenner, who strongly believes in the power of student voice.
Without being able to express your free speech and being able to go out there and actually advocating for what you believe in, it kind of falls upon someone else to do it for you. Without that ability to go out and say it for yourself, your opinions may fall by the wayside.
As the press uses the right to free speech every day, Kansas State Collegian editor Rafael Garcia understands how vital the First Amendment is to deliver news.
It goes into the media having historically been called the Fourth Estate, where we're as essential a body in the political process as the politicians themselves.
Tinker will continue to talk to schools around the country and share their stories throughout 2018. From Manhattan, this is Brett Huntington, Channel 8 News.
You can find out more about the Tinker Tour by visiting the website www.tinkertourusa.org.
We got Chase with us here at the desk, going to talk a little bit about the 5-day forecast. Chase?
Hey guys, so the weather is looking absolutely fantastic this weekend. Upper 50s there for tomorrow, Friday. Looking into the 60s there for the weekend as well. Some chance of rain there on Sunday, and cools down towards the start of the week. So that's pretty much the weather for today.
That's all for today's Channel 8 News. Make sure to stop in every Thursday at 10 o'clock to get your local area updates.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day.
This is Channel 8 News.